We are live. I am Savage Squishy 86, and we are here continuing our live stream coverage of Bloodborne. Hope everyone is having a great morning, and everyone is pretty much ready for the weekend. We are in the weekend, depending on where you are. So last time when we were playing, we did that huge accomplishment of getting to the Unseen Village, the hidden workshop behind the Healing Church, as well as, I believe, if I remember right, we also did the Witch's Abode. So we got a huge slew of activity done, and we're pretty happy about that. But now I want to focus my attention as well back on the Chalice Dungeons, as the Chalice Dungeons will enable me to get my character further stronger, and we can get the next plethora, I guess you would say, of other chalices, which will lead us to even more deeper Chalice Dungeons, more empowering ones, provided we can conquer them. So I have leveled up my character a little bit by doing a little bit of farm work on the side. It has been quite resourceful to be lucky enough to get a root chalice dungeon that was incredibly beneficial with blood echoes, but I was not remotely prepared for it yet, as we are still relatively fragile, but it is incredibly lucrative, to say the least, to get there. So I have not really gone further into it. I actually had help with a few layers because I actually had some pretty heavy duty bosses, and still I'm fighting a boss in there at present that's actually killing me very badly. But we're not going to do that one. The one we're going to do is right here, Central Thumerian. This is pretty much the next step up from the other Thumerian Chalice dungeons we had unlocked previously after we vanquished the Bloodstarved Beast. So we're going to get started right there on that. Welcome to the stream. Good morning. I'm pretty pleased with the result of what we got last time with the multitudes of areas we got to accomplish. But now here we are in the Thumerian Labyrinth. Right off the bat, we'll go ahead and light that lantern, and we'll just get ourselves assorted with whatever we may need in this place. So pretty much want to have a little bit of everything that we could possibly benefit from, and then go from there. I will probably change my saw spear because I'm really jonesing to use something a little opposite. So I took the liberty of upgrading a little bit of my saw cleaver. It does now fire damage as opposed to the traditional saw damage. So it's going to serve mainly as my fire style weapon. In my opinion, I think it's more effective with getting nightmares especially. So right as soon as we start, we'll just head right into the first layer of the Chalice Dungeon. Go ahead and light that lantern as well. As you can see, there's an enemy lying in wait, so we'll be careful going in there. I always make a liberty of checking the walls before I do anything else. So as you can see, there's the result of our fire damage gems. Fire damage gems will basically, in turn, I guess, transform existing damage from the weapon into fire damage, so it will be a boon for those particular instances, but you don't necessarily have to keep them in that sense. Already we got phantoms, so tells me there's a bell-ringing witch. I'm not too concerned. I could take the time and do visceral attacks to get more echoes, but there wouldn't be much of a point to it with these enemies being so incredibly fragile in nature. So we're just gonna get rid of them. Unless we can get lucky and backstab one of them. Be like this one here. Search the body for some quicksilver bullets. You can be careful with these instances where you have these damn incense scones burning, providing cover to potential threats. Then we will proceed through here. All in all, pretty decent so far. A little dark in here, so we're going to put our lantern on. Get our torch out. You can see there's like a couple ghoulies. But before we get engaging them, we're going to grab these items around us. Shining coins, quicksilver, bullets, blood vials, and we're being thrown, knives are being thrown at us by this asshole. Nope, goodbye. Search his body. Poison knife, which he threw at us, asshole. And over here, more blood vials. And ahead of us we have a snatcher. So we'll go ahead. Let's see if we're lucky enough to get some good payout for this. 1300, that's not anything major, but we'll take it. Motherfucker. Asshole. Alright, open the chest here that we took directly to our left to find some ritual blood. And then there was another door back there. We'll bubble back and we'll check that out in a minute. Be sure to check around the stairwells as well, because they may have hidden items there as well. This obviously leads us back the way we came in. Oh, I see something through the smoke over here. What do we got here? Molotovs. A little overkill on the incense. Once we get that item, we're going to double back now. We obviously opened the chest here. Matter of fact, let's see if there's an ambush. Doesn't look like it. I'm very conscientious now about those square spots in the middle of the halls like that, at the top of the stairs, because as usually I'm always expecting there to be an ambush. In here, it looks like we got dogs, we got ghoulies, and we got a jailer. Ah, come on, homie. Thank you. Come on. Got you that time. Headshot. So after we take care of them, we'll grab the gemstone that this fat bastard dropped for us. We'll go ahead over here and we'll flip the switch. This will lead us to the first boss of this Chalice Dungeon, the heart of this Chalice Dungeon. Oh, wait a hair. Beware of stealth. So, We will double back. A lot of notes here. Time for all. You know, I would appreciate them if they were meaningful. I don't just rate messages for the sake of rating them. They have to have something of significance. Otherwise, it's just people wanting rates for the sake of it. And I don't particularly play like that. If you're going to put a message out, it better be something of relevancy, not something that's just going to waste people's time. Certainly not mine. Maybe that makes me sound like a bit of a dick, but I don't like having my time wasted just to give your messages, however useless they may be, ratings. I know it helps them heal, because every time you get a message rated by somebody else in the world, or their world, they get a boon of that from back in return, so... But head on through here, and I think we're gonna have a demon-possessed soul. Ooh, hello. Come on, boy. Bring that shit. Come on. Come on. Son of a bitch. I'm waiting for him to do the jump attack, because that's the easiest one for me to parry, but so far he hasn't done it yet. There we go. Now he's done it. And we got huge damage for that. And he's dead. Bye-bye, possessed soul. We got a Tempering Blood gemstone. I'm a little disappointed he dropped through, because usually they drop something. But you always had those instances where the game glitches and the enemy falls through the map and you can't get whatever item they have on them. So, but we got through that boss, so we're going to light the lantern and head on into the second chamber. And then right away, as soon as we get off the elevator to our left, we will have a passage leading into a side area. Side areas are very much exceptional that you want to explore. I mean, I stress that, but I just, want to remind you, check out the side areas, because they tend to have runes that you can use to increase your character's power. They may have weapons, and they may have, additional relic materials. Now here we have scorpions. These enemies do, I believe, slow poison. I'm not sure, but like any other creature, they are very vulnerable to thrust damage. Oh, they do rapid poison, so you want to be careful. Once you kill them, you want to get away from get some distance before they suicide, because if they do, they'll get you with a little bit of damage, and they'll get you with rapid poison. I don't know if medicine cures rapid poison. I need to research that and look that up. If you looking for the link, it'll be in the description once this video is published to my YouTube. I hear blood gels. Those little slimy fat bastards. Alright, before we go any further, I want to be careful and make sure there's no cannons. We got a lot of oil urns out here, so that's not a good sign. So we're going to want to probably run to the left. There's a rat. There's a gel. This is a PlayStation 4 game, but I'm playing it on PlayStation 5. you can play certain games on PlayStation 4, on PlayStation 5 that you wouldn't be able to play on PlayStation 4. But it is easily to get, like $20 in the store, I believe. So once we get through that tunnel, we're gonna head up here on this ladder and go over here to the... Oh, welcome, darling. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Always a pleasure, darling. Welcome to the stream. So check the walls, make sure there's no hidden passages, then open over here and head over here and open this gate. Be mindful of the threats in the next area. It sounds like there's multiple ones. I hear them. It could be above or below, but I'm not sure. But here we have a ghoulie waiting and wait. Get rid of him. Wait, go slow. I hear dogs, but I don't see them. On the left, you'll find thick cold blood and a chest. And also blood vials in the body nearby. And there, behind us, approaching, is another snatcher. Ritual blood. Hey, it's okay. I get it, hun. It's a struggle. I'm gonna be getting to PC gaming here soon. I'm just waiting for an external so I can jump on Steam. I'm still gonna be new, but I'm looking to learn PC gaming. There we go. Easy attacks. Viscerals all around. Any kind of games you like particularly, dear? I believe you said one of them was, if I remember, I think you told me one of them was, Dead by Daylight, yeah? I'm not a competitive player, yep. I called it, Dead by Daylight, yep. I remember. I was never very good at that game. I was absolute hot garbage. I'm a cooperative player, not a competitive one. Competitive play is not my forte. I like helping my community. Oh! Wow, that explains where the dogs came from. Oh, I better get out of here. I'm gonna get messed up. Get out of here, big boy. You're crowding me. Oh. Yeah. I caution you, if you're a new player to this game, do not do what I did. That was very reckless. I could have died very easily if I wasn't careful. I should have broke off contact and retreated, but I didn't. So don't do that again. Thank you, dear. Yeah, Soulsborne games are very, very difficult. I think you can play. I don't know. I think Bloodborne is exclusive to Sony PlayStation, but I think you can play the Demon and Dark Souls series games. I'm not sure if that's quite your forte, but it's definitely one of the more challenging and exuberant games out there. I actually have Demon Souls, the remake of Demon Souls on PlayStation 5, but I've never played the originals. And I was very reluctant to play the original Demon and Dark Souls games, but a friend of mine, in fact a forum, I should say, there we go, we have our Hintertomb Chalice, so... a friend of mine in a forum, and along with much of the forum, said it best. If you can play Bloodborne, you can play Demon Souls. Bloodborne is actually one of the harder games. Right behind it is, I think, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I have not played that either, but I've been told if I can play this, there's no From Software game I can't play. So eventually I'll try and finish Demon Souls. I am playing it, but I've got like 40 or something games to play. And I decided to give this another crack and live streaming it. So once we've lowered the drawbridge with that switch up there that you saw me do, you're going to see the drawbridge lower, and we're going to be over this area. This pretty much is going to be our way back. But I want to get that dog that got away from me, and I don't know where the hell he went. So let's drop down and say hello. I believe... Oh, Jesus Christ, you son of a bitch. I heard that fucker breathing, and I didn't think to stop and wait. Okay, that jump scared me. Fuck you, asshole. I never really get jump scared very easily. And of course, the headphones amplify it because I have them on. I have the sound on headset. What a dick. Ah, there's our pooch. Come here, doggo. Good boy. Now I want to listen carefully. Doesn't sound like we're getting any blood lickers. Ah, wait a minute. Now you hear that noise, that is the sound of a blood licker. Now, I was mentioning this in previous streams that when you hear that sound, that means there's a blood licker nearby, and a blood licker is extremely good to get easy blood gemstones. But the only rare cases they appear is when you kill a very significant enemy with a huge blood loss. And I believe the Chalice Dungeon big boy that we killed up here was enough blood loss to get a thirsty little blood licker to appear. So in order to kill him, this is an important thing that I should stress. Vile blood enemies in this game, they're susceptible. I think I explained earlier that beast monsters are susceptible to serrated damage and fire. Kin enemies are susceptible to electricity and thrust damage. A blood licker is susceptible to righteous weapons, so church weapons. That includes the Kirk Hammer, the Ludwig Great Sword, and the Holy Moonlight Sword. Now, as we can see, there's our boy up there, which is going to be kind of difficult, so we're going to need to get his attention, see if he can come down here. Come on down, boy. Come on, boy. There you go. Now, usually if you kill a blood licker like that, that basically is what a blood licker is, but usually you want to listen very quietly for the slurping sound. Once you hear the slurping sound, you can pretty much track them down. Typically when you kill them, they will sometimes drop you a blood gemstone for your guns. Sometimes they won't. It's a luck of the draw. So if you want to get better, stronger blood gemstones for your guns and really get more oomph, you know, more firepower out of it, you're going to need to kill blood lickers. We will encounter a lot of them when we go to Canehurst Castle, but for right now we're going to head back the way we came and get through with the side area and head directly for the second chamber of this Chalice Dungeon. Now bear in mind, I'm going to do a proportionate amount of the stream with Chalice Dungeons. We pretty much have conquered the other particular areas, but I will pay a quick visit to them at the end of the stream just to get just near, not when I end the stream, but near the end of the stream to get them the quest lines of certain characters, you know, excelling forward, because I don't want to lose them. So once you light the lantern, head through and immediately take notice of the multiple enemies, make sure they don't surprise you, and then just go and chop up Broadway. Three ghoulies down, and on the left we have a passage, and on the right we have a passage. So we're going to take the first one to the left, And right away we will find we have potential threats here. And of course it would be one with a giant pistol. Come on, boy. Come on. Enough is enough. Bring out the pistol. You know what? The hell with it. I don't need I don't need a visceral type to get big day with you. So right away, once we dispatch him, these passages, you want to just check these, because they look suspicious for hidden passages. And the only way they'll appear is if you hit them. There's no way to know, unless somebody leaves a note that tells you there's a passage here. But if you don't see one, usually it's a good indicator to make one. Once we head through there, we're going to head over here. Bust these little lanterns. Up above, we can hear there's a snatcher moseying around, and I think I can hear also a nightmare. Ah, witch! Be careful with the smoke. Do not let her get you with that fire, because it will kill you. Instant death is almost certain with that. Best thing I can recommend is long-range attacks, throwing knives, or some pistols, but... Oh, come on, Snatcher, let's go. Good boy. This looks important. Rip it out. And get the Snatcher down, and then he'll give you a Bloodstone Shard. Before we continue on that path, I just want to check this other corridor over here and make sure there's nothing here. This may lead to my next key. Yeah, it will. I could actually hear that little chunky monkey panting. Like some poor sad soul with diabetes. Ah, yes, there we are. Hi, boy. Get some blood bullets. And there we go. Bye. So how was your weekend, Sarah dear? How you doing? You causing any shenanigans? Making Dead by Daylight victims miserable? Running for your life? That kind of thing? Go ahead and pull the switch and then we'll double back the way we came, and we'll take that other passage we saw the Snatcher in. I can see in the distance we have a ghoulie. And we have another Snatcher. Interesting. Go ahead and grab the Quicksilver bullets off the body here. The Molotov cocktails there. The ritual blood from him. And the cold blood from this body here. As well as over here. Fire paper. I'm just going to take a moment to check these walls. Make sure there's no hidden passages. I don't think there is. I'm not even going to bother checking the others because my instincts are telling me that they're not there. I'm just going to drop down. Make sure that... Ah, yes. I know how that is. Some movies. That's all I've been listening to on the Hallmark Channel when I go downstairs to eat morning breakfast or afternoon lunch. Yeah. I curse Hallmark movies. So once we got through the passage, we'll head into the second chamber, and we will encounter a Keeper of the Old Lords. Now, this enemy is basically the enemy dog, the watchdog of the Old Lords. This is his master. Now, the cool thing about this guy is he is kind of like a demon, like witch or warlock, but he is pretty much somebody who is capable of casting a spell with fire. So as you can see, he has a Chikaje, which is a type of sword, a demonic sword. But he also casts fire, so he's pretty much even keel for taking down. There's real no weakness to him. I just use his own aggression against him with visceral attacks. But it's important to avoid his fire, because his fire can be very powerful. Now, the first stage, he will attack you with wave after wave of fire, and occasionally try to blast you with that fire attack that you saw me do, as well as his sword attack. So he will constantly try to do that. But as you can see, he's very dangerous. And he'll do those little explosions as well, which also makes him pretty OP. So we just want to get an opening where he goes and tries to do a melee attack, and then I'm going to switch my gun, though, because I think a blunderbuss would do a better job. So, there we go. Better. Instant visceral attack. A third of his health will be gone. And then immediately before you... this is an instance where he will start empowering his weapon with firepower. So it will do... And he'll start moving up his speed a little bit to get you. He'll also cause that kind of attack, so you want to just stay or try to dodge to the left. Keeper is not really terribly difficult until you get to later stages of the Chalice Dungeons, because he will start being a regular enemy. Basically, like any ghoulie enemy, he'll be walking around with dogs. Come on, buddy. You gonna hit me or what? As you can see, that's why I want to be careful with him, because just a couple of hits and he immediately, between the fire and his impact of his attacks, he basically... Gotcha. And there we go. And then we have the Central Thumerio Root Chalice, which will enable us to use the new Root Chalice, another formality of the other Root Chalice we have. This one will be Central Thumerian, but it'll be with the elements of the Central Thumerian Root Chalice. So, how it basically works is that each unique Chalice Dungeon sect, Central Thumerian, Lower Thumerian, Hintertomb, all have a root Chalice Dungeon. Now, what the other Chalice Dungeons do is they do a fixed Chalice Dungeon sect. What the root Chalice Dungeon does is it's a randomly generated Chalice Dungeon with various bits and pieces thrown together. It's completely randomized. Enemy is randomized. Rewards, dangers, bosses, all randomized. So in this instance, we have the root Chalice Dungeon for Central Thumeria, which will be beneficial for us to sort of explore that at our own pace. So the other one basically that we have set up picks any of them in any order, regardless of circumstance, and regardless of which ones you have unlocked. This one is strictly structured for this particular layer of Chalice Dungeons. So we'll be able to use this later on, which I will probably do. But that is pretty much what we'll do with that. But right away, we got that taken care of. We're going to switch our outfit back I mainly switched that, like I said, to protect me from the fire, which I definitely am glad I did, because he was fucking me up royally with that fire of his. Take the elevator down, and we will proceed on through, and here we will find there is another side area of Layer 3. So we'll go ahead and explore this. As you can see, there's a trap on the left. Want to be careful with that. I hear something, but I don't want to... I'm not going to take the chance of getting shot in the back with a flaming arrow. Kill this one fast before he rings his bell, because it'll summon every damn one of the ghoulies in the air in this entire area directly to you. Every one of them that are down will wake up and immediately come running to that bell. And then if you're not careful, you can actually get killed because they're all surrounding you. Everybody gets a piece. Boom, 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 and then you're dead. Grab whatever items they drop and head on through to the left. Oh, of course, these guys are dropped down. Come on, boys. Let's talk. Obviously, he will hear the fighting, which I don't want him to see me, but at the same time, I don't want to give my position away either. So I'm going to try to lure this guy away. See if he takes the bait, which it looks like he has. Come on, boy. Bingo. So with that being said, we're going to head on through to the left. I'm going to walk real slow, get in his shadow. And once we get in his shadow, we'll set him up for an easy backstab. Charge up the attack. And visceral, right in the butt. And he will drop a Tempering Blood gemstone, open up the chest. I know you're laughing, Sarah, it's okay. That's a normal thing in this game. You'll find it's quite satisfying when you rip out something important in that area. Once we've gotten the chest items, we will find our way to get up there, and obviously that will be going through this area, through this Templar Doom trap that they've concocted for us again. Now, we could go that way, but I like to be curious, George, and check out the other areas in the next area. So, as we can see, there is a hidden chamber further down the tunnel that we can explore. Inside, we will find a snatcher, obviously, as well as a couple of ghoulies lying in wait. Come on, big boy. You know, it's always ironic because the Snatcher strikes me as the kind of character who would, like, literally sit inside of a van saying, free candy, and, like, literally snatch you up and put you in the stack. You know, and since we're coming up on Christmas, you know, everybody's actually, it's ironic. I'm later on, I will be going to a Krampus Christmas Day event that is being held today. So, but I get that impression of him too. Go ahead and search the tombs. You'll find ritual materials as well as other things, I'm sure. Here we have the Sage's Wrist, which is another ritual-based material. It is. I've actually never been to it, and I'm hoping my mother goes because she's originally German, and I don't think, and she's actually surprisingly never heard of Krampus. She never even knew of it. It's part of her cultural heritage. So I've always wanted to go to one, but I've never had the opportunity. I know they're very popular in places like Austria, parts of Germany, And Germany is in my family tree, so I definitely would probably have too much fun doing it. But I can't wait to see what it's like. I'm not sure if I'll take footage yet or not, but it'll be worth it. I have no doubt. So, and as we hear, we got a ghoulish little phantom that's above us. But before we get too far ahead of us with ourselves with that, we're going to check this chamber down here. And in here we will find a chest. Yes, me too. I hope so too, dear. I have a few people that'll be coming, so hopefully they will we'll all have a great time. I'm looking forward to it. Another chest here, more ritual material. There's pretty much all this in this room is ritual material. So once we get all that, we're gonna head up here. And be careful with this little phantom little witch. She's gonna disappear and reappear. But like any phantom, she is very vulnerable to the contention of threats. And attacks from her will raise your frenzy meter, so it's important you don't try not to get hit by her as much as you can. If you need to use sedative, actually I should stress that. If you get really hit with a lot of it, I don't think I have any yet, but what you want to get is sedative. Sedative will actually minimize the effects of frenzy. Much like how medicine is key for poison, frenzy is cured by a sedative, which will, I guess, reduce the impact of frenzy on your blood. Alright, so now we're in the upper chamber above this room. We will grab these items here. Then we have two chambers here. One is there, and another one which was back further in there. So first we'll go into here and we'll check this room out. And it is going to lead us to a coffin, I'm sure. And come on. I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting that backstab. I'm usually not this having this much trouble, but it seems like it is, so I didn't get him. That's too bad. Doesn't matter. Open the coffin once you've taken care of the big boy, and you will find some tomb mold. All of this is ritual materials for the later Chalice Dungeons we will be exploring, specifically the Hintertomb and the Thumerian Root Chalice Dungeon. Oh, there's a item we missed. Blood vials. Good. Now we'll head over here and we'll open this chamber, and it looks like we can't. It actually looks like this is actually sealed from the other side, which we will have to go into the next area to unlock this. So I guess we will double back. And I'm not sure, I can't recall if we went down this passage or not. We did not, so good. Get rid of the snatcher. And the ritual blood. He will drop. Asshole. And here we will find some fire paper and some Madman's knowledge. And I think that is everything. I will be extra cautious just to make sure. It seems like other players are down here exploring. Take a quick moment to listen. I don't hear any threats, so... Ah, there's one. A blood liquor lying in wait. Good. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this boy. Go right past him, stay in his shadow. Bad time to get an itchy nose. And with that, that is one less one. And then we have a warm blood gemstone. Good. Now that we've taken care of that, we're going to head on through to the next area. Absolutely, dear. Can't wait. Feel free to subscribe and stop in anytime. Always welcome. Have a good one, dear. We'll head on through here and light this lamp, and we will proceed with the next stage of this Chalice Dungeon. Here it seems we have a few things. We have a snatcher, and we have a few coffins here. Let's go ahead and bust them so I don't get jump scared again. And we will go ahead and get his attention. Come here, boy. Come on. Come on, you're boring me. We'll grab the bloodstone shard from the snatcher boss, sub-boss, that's what we would call him. And then over here we will check a few things. Let's see, we have a note here and here. Liar waits ahead. Alright, well clearly somebody told somebody that there was something here. So once we've dispatched the snatcher, we'll head into this area here. Looks like we had a hidden passage. Now, why the hell would you do that? See, now that's just a dick. That's gonna get you a foul rating, bro. That's not even cool. How are you gonna do that to people? Open the chest, and we'll get the ritual blood. And then over here we'll have a pungent blood cocktail. And then over here we have Prospector Olek we can summon. So an old hunter bell we could use here. Oh, excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning. I shouldn't be. But we will head up this ladder now. If we... Oh, wrong side. Okay, there we go. And through here, we will head through this passage up here. And right away, we have a witch in the background and some ghoulies lying in wait. Matter of fact... Oh, okay, that's gotta stop. Gotta be careful. The witch, obviously, like I said, she will throw fire at you from a distance. But throwing knives seem to work really well with taking care of her. And then we will go ahead and focus our attention on... Oh, we got phantoms, so it means there's a bell girl. Okay. Enough of your bell ringing crap, baby. Once we dispatch the bell broad, we're gonna go ahead and just head on down and take out this asshole. There we go. Easy kill. He will drop a Tempering Blood Gemstone. Hold the switch. Here we have Quicksilver bullets. And then we will head back up the way we came. I'm curious to find the one-sided door that was locked previously that we saw. Doesn't seem like it's around here, so we're gonna check out some of those other areas we did not explore. I think there was one over here. Yep, here it is, right here. So we gotta go through this way. Open up this door. And this should take us the way back to where our secret area was. Our side area, excuse me, not a secret area, side area. And right away we got some ghoulies. And then here we have a chest. Open the chest. Inside we will find more for Sage Wrist, so more ritual materials. I'm just going to open this because I want to go back and check and see if there was a body, if there was a blood liquor that came for this chunky boy down here. So let me head back and take a quick look. Oh, nope, that's the wrong way. May not be this one, maybe in here. Yes? Yes. And nope, no blood liquor, so that's cool. So, sometimes they'll show up, sometimes they won't. It's really kind of a luck of the draw kind of gig. So sometimes you'll get lucky and a blood liquor will appear, other times he won't, or she won't, and you know, it's one less thing for you to worry about. I want to walk over here. I want to run over here real quick because I want to listen if there's a liquor that appeared in this area. I just need to listen. Doesn't sound like it, so we're just gonna move on. We've opened the path forward to the next Chalice Dungeon boss, so that is where we are heading. Get ourselves gassed up for this. It looks like we may have a side area as well, so we'll keep our eyes peeled. Nope, no side area. Okay. Strictly a boss. Now I'm gonna take a wild guess that I think it's gonna be another one of the I think it's gonna be another one of the Watchdog of the Old Lord, so we're just gonna prepare ourselves, get ourselves geared up. If I'm wrong, I can easily swap these out. Lickety split. No problem. So get the saw spear ready, get the threaded cane ready. Okay, let's see. No, Thumerian Old Lord. Oh. Thumerian Descendant. So this guy is pretty much like a very kind of eerie, kind of like zombified, mummied, like little possessed ghoulie. I guess you would call him a super ghoulie. So, but basically he has two stages. So for stage one, he will be aggressive as shit with that little hook sword of his. And basically you want to just try to get him get a lucky hit on him with he's very aggressive if you don't know how to fight him. Jesus, guy, take a pill. Relax. I may need to switch to my blunderbuss in this case. Very hard to get a shot on him. Stun him. That time I got him. Now he will enter stage 2, which he will split his blade into 2 weapons. But if you're lucky and you're fast enough, you can get behind him. Obviously, I wasn't. But if you're lucky, you can get him with a second visceral attack and instantly kill him. And then with him, we will get the lower Thumerian Chalice, and we also get a cold, damp blood gem. Now, the Thumerian Descendant will come in 2 stages. The first one is obviously with the dual, the little hook sword that splits into 2. Then there's one that actually he comes with a scythe. This is actually a pretty tame instance of an encounter. Otherwise, he would be very much more aggressive and difficult to fight. But I mean, that pretty much is the culminating of his, his character. But that pretty much takes care of those Chalice Dungeons, so we'll break this one down, and we'll get the other ones opened. The Central Thumerian, lower, I believe that's what it was, and Hintertomb. So, we'll head over here, break it down. So, we have the Thumerian Root Chalice, we have the Central Thumerian Chalice, we have the Central Thumerian Root Chalice. So, we'll go ahead and do Central Thumerian Root. Now, Fetid Offering basically enables us to improve upon their power, so it'll make them more lethal. You know what? Hold that thought. Let me look it up real quick, because I want to be sure. I don't want to give the wrong message and misinform anyone in that landscape, so bear with me just a moment. I'll stop doing that for a second. And, okay. So, pulling it up now. All right, so additional rights. So, the Fetid Offering invigorates the Watchers, making them more treacherous than normal, but also making them more worthy prey for a special hunt. Enemies are strengthened when this right is used. They will have their stats boosted and appear with a smoky and visual effect to signify their upgrade. This makes the dungeon harder, but rewards you with more blood echoes. It also increases the amount of items that will drop from defeated enemies, making it very much more. That is so terribly worded. Very much more worth. Someone needs to work on the typing. The effort to kill those powered up enemies. The exact value of Fetid Right buff is an extra 35%. Okay. So we pretty much have that sense where it's going to make the enemies stronger, but you're going to get more echoes, like I suggested before. Fetid Offerings pretty much do that, and you're going to get more item drops from them. So it's kind of a, harder challenge, but we get more bang for our buck. So we'll have to be very diligent and careful with this chalice, because obviously harder enemies means we can die easier, which we'll see how far we get. So we're going to go ahead and get that cooking, and we're going to go ahead and get the Fetid Offering presented. And with it, there we go. Now, this purple smoke indication is usually a good indicator that it is a Fetid Offering, so it's pretty much evident that that's what that is. Then we're going to go ahead and do the lower Thumerian Chalice. Labyrinth Chalice. Get out of here, you monkey. My cat being a pain in the ass. And then we're going to go ahead and get the Hinter Tomb Chalice Dungeon. Now, basically all these tombstones here, pretty much you can exercise with these Chalice Dungeons. So you pretty much can do that right on the back. And then that'll be that. But before we get further ahead of ourselves, we're going to go ahead and take advantage of something. Because after we killed the Keeper of the Old Lords, we will find inside the bath that we can actually buy the Old Lord's outfit. So here we have the Bone Ash Mask and the Bone Ash Armor, as well as the Bone Ash Gloves, Gauntlets, whatever you want to call them, and Bone Ash Leggings. So pretty much right there, we have a lot of that. Also, you'll also notice the Shaman Bow Blade. Now, this particular item we can't really get right now because it will rob us of all our insight, but this is a unique talent, and this is a very good weapon to have because this will actually turn an enemy against its other enemies if you're able to get a stab on them. And it will make it very easy for him to sort of turn on his enemies and help you fight them. I like to use this in the Old Hunters DLC with the giant, with the man sharks. Very dangerous enemy, but like an angry elephant, they're very hard to stop. Both for you and for others. So we're going to definitely get that later on. You can only carry 3 at a time, and you have to be careful when you use it, because if you are hit while it's being pulled out and used, it will be lost, and you won't be able to get it back. Before we head further ahead, we're going to go ahead and get our echoes to empower us a little bit.
The echoes become your strength. Let me.
Oh, we can't. Damn, that's too bad. I thought we had a lucky streak. So we'll, I guess we'll either see what we can buy here, or we'll just button it and we'll use it for something else in the future. Yeah, sadly it doesn't look like we can buy anything, so I think we'll just hold on to it for now. We'll just head right into the next Chalice Dungeon. So go ahead and head into the Fetid Chalice Dungeon of the Thumerian. I'm gonna probably pin this in my favorites bar, because I definitely want to have this handy for future reference. There we go. So right away off the bat, it's going to look just like a traditional Sumerian Chalice Dungeon, but you'll see eventually it's going to be a little bit more differently laid out in structure. Go ahead and light the lantern and immediately get yourself into the thick of it. Have your weapons at the ready. There's no telling what kind of threats we'll have ahead of us. Like I said, these are completely randomized, they're completely structured, and right away we can see that there is a snatcher ahead walking around with dogs, as well as some ghoulies. So we're going to want to lure these guys, split them up a little bit. Go ahead and light this lantern. Come on, boy. Now, right away, you can tell these dogs are not particularly powerful. That is evident, so... Come on, boy. But I'm pretty sure that is going to change with our good old giant boy here. So we obviously haven't really encountered that yet, and we're getting fired upon. I'm not sure by what. Let's get some distance and find out. An asshole with a cannon. So we're going to immediately break left and get around to his flank. I don't think we'll encounter very many of them right here quite just yet. I'm waiting to see when we encounter them. We got a guillotine trap. Be careful. Watch out for that. Head on through. There's oil on the ground, so that tells me there's a threat ahead, so we want to be careful with this. Okay, nothing of interest here, just a couple torches. So go ahead and open the chest. Inside we'll find an odd tempering blood gemstone, shining coins, quicksilver bullet, blood vials, and Molotovs. So that pretty much is what those items entail. Now, upon entering that vicinity, we will have those threats taken care of. That will be our way out, but to get there, we have to find our way across that upper catwalk up there. So take the ladder up, and then head through the catacomb to the right. Well, once you open the door. Once across the bridge, open the next door, head through, and we have a Watcher dead ahead of us, as well as several ghoulies. Now, these are the ones that are going to be powerful. These are the ones that are going to be a bit of a threat. So we need to get their attention and separate them. We do not want to engage these guys up close. If you can get them with visceral attacks, that'll be an even bigger payout. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. See what should we get. Oh, 600. That's nothing. That's penny cash, man. Why would you make it sound like it's so much more? That is so disappointing. That's like incredibly overwhelming. I was thinking it was going to be like 3,000 or something. Tempering blood gemstone. Well, the big boy's got an aura, so maybe he will have a better payout than his buddies. How about it, buddy? You got a better payout? Give me my money. Come on. There we go. Visceral attack. $1,700, man. That's weak. They made it sound, they make it sound like it's like so much more bigger, but they probably still hit like a dump truck. So I'm not gonna take the chance. But I'm also not gonna, kill myself with exuberant amounts of work to get easy echoes with visceral attacks, plus the bonus echoes I get from the moon rune that I have on. Damn, that is so frustrating, because I was expecting it to be like big bucks, like 3,000, 4,000, something like that, I mean, you do get that later with other chalices, but it's just the point, you expect more. So, anyway, head on through the gate. We've opened the path, so keep your ears open for the blood lickers if they show up. And I think we have a side area, yep. So, we'll head immediately through to the side area. Be diligent with what may be ahead. And there we'd see in the distance we have a snatcher. I'm not even sweating it no more, because it's like, yeah, I just want to get on with the rest of it. And there's another snatcher. I don't know what that was, buddy, but that was not a good dance move. Alright, bloodstone shard, so obviously we have a passage here. We're going to leave a coin to show that we've been on this side of the door. This is kind of what the importance of the coins are, is because, because it is so labyrinth in nature, you want to be able to mark where have you been, where haven't you been. Over here at the top of the steps, we will find a body with blood vials. Grab them. And it looks like it is just a blank area here. Oh, hello. Or not. Obviously, we saw a door back there, very well disguised. And then here we will have a chest. Open it up. Ritual blood. Great. Over here, nothing. Over here, nothing. Here we got a door. Open it up. And we are in a chamber, and there is a path leading up. I want to try to get behind this guy if I can without these ghoulies giving me away. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Oh, shit. Goddamn camera. Fucking asshole. That camera fucked me all up. My God, you see that? Anyway, open the coffin. And inside we'll find frenzied cold blood. And then we'll double back. Keep our ears open for a liquor if she drops in. And instead of going all the way back, we'll open up the gate, and this will lead our way back to where we came. And like I said, you can, if you do beat the Chalice Dungeon, you may get an entirely different Chalice Dungeon than what I'm getting. So I'm only doing this as an exemplary piece. I'm going to probably do this a couple dozen times. You could do this a couple dozen times, and it probably will never really be the same in that regard. So right away, we got a possessed beast. So we're going to just go ahead and wait for him to stop having his little pyromania moment. Enough. Down, boy. Come on, big boy. Done. And then we got Tempering Blood Gemstone and some Insight. Go ahead and light the lantern and head on to the next stage of the chain of the dungeon. In my opinion, the Root Chalice Dungeons are the real goal of what you want to get down here. If you can get the Root Chalice Dungeons, you can get so much more, because there's a lot more rewards to be found in the Root, and it's important you look for that. In the Chalice Dungeons, look for the Root ones. Those are the ones that are going to have the most benefit. Right here at the bottom of the ladder, at the elevator, to the left, we'll have this side area, so we'll go ahead and check this one out. On the right, it looks like we have a man-eating pig. 2 man-eating pigs. That's going to be fun. We will not be able to engage them at the same time. We'll have to split them up, or at the very least try to get them distracted enough to where we can take them down. So before we do that, though, we're going to take left, and this should take us up to the upper level, which is where we want to go, because this will give us an opportunity not to get caught in the engagement. There will probably be witches up here, so there in the distance, as you can see. And I believe there's also a pig up here as well in this long corridor. There's another witch down there. Now, typically the witches will drop you a blood tinged gemstone, but it's kind of rare, so don't bank on it always happening. They are more common to dropping blood vials and quicksilver bullets in particular. So and I believe the other pig, I don't believe the pig will, maybe there won't be a pig up here, I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of random. Like I said, it's a root Chalice dungeon, so it's important to always take things at face value, but there. To get the visceral attack on them, you want to approach them at an angle on the stairs and make sure you're at equal level. So even if you're like a little bit above or a little bit below, make sure you're at an equal level enough where you can actually get that visceral attack in there and kill them. Otherwise, you're just going to do a regular attack if you don't do it at the right, geometry of it. Open the coffin, and inside we'll find the Uncanny Saw Spear. Now, basically, that's the same thing as the Uncanny Saw Cleaver, with the addition of the other alternative gemstone. So now we will head back. We can obviously hear there's a bell ringing woman down there. We can also hear there's witches. There's a bell ringing woman down there. We also know there's a witch down there, as well as the pigs, and we got a couple of snatchers as well, and a giant. So they're going for broke here. And there's also a nightmare in the middle of all that, so there's a chance that the nightmare will escape, but like I said before, we'll just use the exploit to get the nightmare back in the playing field in the event he does get away. And then directly ahead of us here is going to be a ghoulie. He will have a poison knife on him. Occasionally they'll have poison knives, but it won't be in bulk. Usually just one. So I am really not looking forward to this, because I was hoping there would be an alternative way down, but charging into the fray like this is not really my favorite thing to do, because if the pigs spot you, the pig is just going to charge and bulldoze you. But we got rid of the bell ringing asshole phantom. And then here we have this phantom approaching. So it's a good thing we have the luck and fortune of the stairs being to the left here. was really hoping to get a visceral attack, but again, Phantom fucking blocking my path. The fire gemstone will be what we get from the nightmare. But we'll get rid of this fat boy here. Easy kill. I'm surprised these guys didn't engage me, because I thought they were going to engage me the second they hear us running around trying to get that nightmare. And then right there, easy kill on the Snatcher. And we get Ritual Blood. He's just floating in the air. Now, the tricky part. I do not like engaging two man-eater boars at one time, because if one of them catches me unaware, then the other one does too. And that's why I don't like engaging them at one time, because as you can see, he immediately tried to charge. So there we go. 2 blood vials. 2 blood vials, 4,000 echoes apiece. I'm just gonna take a quick gander around under here, make sure there's no hidden prizes. Oh, there's another nightmare. Another tempering blood gemstone. Another ghoulie, enhanced by the fetid right offering. Now we'll just run the perimeter of this courtyard and search for any other hidden items of relevancy. Looks like we got another passage to the right here. I think I saw something. No, it's just a torch at the far end. And I think that is pretty much it. So a lot of these enemies have been dispatched. I'm pretty sure we'll have a blood licker appear here, but I want to be careful. Oh, we got a rat. Multiple rats. One rat left alive. And these guys are giving me some tomb mold. And over here on this body, we'll have Quicksilver bullets. Hi, friend. No Willard sequel for you. Grab the blood vials off of him and proceed back the way we came. Yep. Easy. Alright. I typically like to use the Ludwig's Holy Sword because the thrust on this weapon, like I said, these Vile Bloods are susceptible to thrust damage as well as Righteous Weapons. So ironically, this gives me the best of both. And this is just at level 3. When I get this thing up to level 10, it's going to like instantly two-hit these guys and kill them instantly. So, but in this particular instance, all I need is 1. But as you get through later playthroughs, you'll find it is very rarely that simple. Sometimes you need 2 hits, sometimes you need 3 hits. That's how strong they will get in later playthroughs as you go on New Game Plus 1, 2, 3. I think the maximum number of New Game Pluses you can get up to is 5. New Game Plus 5, I think, is your limit. So, but once we've gotten through that, we can pretty much head back the way we came. I just gotta figure out where the hell that is. I think we ran past it. Yep, right here. I just want to take the moment to listen a little bit carefully. I don't hear any more blood lickers, so big boy upstairs may not have gotten the privilege. So, but we're gonna go ahead and keep our. We're gonna keep the whole we're gonna keep. I don't know why I took that off. Ludwig's Holy Blade on handy right there. So right away, open the way with the lantern, and inside we will have. He drops Ritual Blood 3. He drops Blood Vial. As we can see, now we're getting some of the rewards that we were mentioned in the description for the Fetid Offering. Enemies with the Fetid Offering curse are going to give you more items. So they'll give you almost not really more items, but they'll give you items every time when you kill them. Open the chest here, and inside we will find 2 mold. So you're going to get a lot of ritual materials. It pretty much goes up and up and up. For whatever reason, he came running to that real quick. Why? I didn't make any noise. Cold blood dew on the body. Now, if you're clever, like I said before, you can actually use these traps to kill your enemies. Just immediately, like if they ambush you, you can just immediately get an easy kill on them, because sometimes they will get killed in just one hit from a trap weapon like that, so. Alright, so there is our way out. So to find it, over here we got an item. Thick Cold Blood. To find our way out, we have to find the switch. So we're going to head further into the dungeon. In this courtyard here, we have one door there and a door there. So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll go to the main door, because I'm guessing this is going to lead to a courtyard or a hall that... Oh, we got witches. I don't have any damn throwing knives. I do not like getting close to them girls, because I cannot tell you how many times, one horror story I'll tell you is I actually had 3 million blood echoes. That's right, 3 million. I was playing a Chalice Dungeon that was cursed, rotted, and fetid offerings, which amplifies the blood echoes to astronomical levels that I kill enemies with. And the damage I take is just monstrous. My health is cut by half, practically. So you can imagine how sick I felt when I lost 3 million echoes to a fucking witch who just blew her fire right into my face. I mean, the damage it does at a distance is bad, but the damage it does up close, it's the equivalent of a shotgun blast in your mouth. It is just insane. And I was beyond disgusted with the fact that I lost like that. I didn't take it well. I didn't handle it well. I was very pissed off. It actually broke a controller. It was absolutely horrendous. It was one of the rare occasions where I legit crashed out on a Bloodborne game. But it was definitely a teaching moment for me to just, if I'm going to go into a hard Chalice dungeon, rather than risk losing them, I would just assume burn the blood echoes, go buy a bunch of resources, get rid of them. That way, if I do lose them, I don't have to worry about it. And if all else fails, I just call for help. I didn't have any insight, otherwise I would have called for help. But still, I mean, it was a teaching moment. You know, don't take the risk. Burn your echoes. Otherwise, you're just going to risk losing them, and it's not going to be worth it. And then you're going to be pissed at yourself that you didn't do it. So we went through that passage. Now we're in this one. Climb the ladder, and we will have a few things here. First thing we're going to do is go to the left. I think this is going to take us to the switch. Nope. Big boy was guarding a chest. He's got a tempering blood gemstone. Open the chest. And inside we will find more sage wrist, so we can actually have another ritual material for another fetid offering if we want to. But avoid the switch. And immediately here we will have... thought I heard fire. I think it's coming from that other chamber. So we'll head back that way. And pull the switch. And we'll grab those items off the big boy here. 2 quicksilver bullets. We drop down and then run back. I could go back and make sure and check for a vile blood, but I'm not going to worry about it because we don't really get much of a payout here as I thought we would. But I mean, we got something of one. So once you head through the chamber, ascend the ladder, and let's see what boss we have now. Ah, the Watchers. The big boys are back. The boys are back in town. Oh, you fucking ass. Alright, I've had enough of you guys. I'm getting rid of all of you. Enough with the gun crap, buddy. I gotta get a gun between me and this asshole. Die. Alright. And with that, we got some insight, 5,000 echoes, and a tempering blood gemstone. Oh, go ahead and light the lamp. Get some blood bullets. Get this blood off. Ooh. And then head into the next area, and to our right, another side area. Gonna scale up the ladder and head to the next next little treasure trove that's lying in wait for us. Immediately ahead of us, we'll see that there is a chest. More blood vials. We obviously can hear pigs down here, so be careful. Remember, pigs are crazed for blood cocktails, and they're vulnerable to fire and serrated damage. They're beasts. They may not have hair, but they count as beasts apparently. So. I take things in stride where I search level by level before I go into the next area. That is like an undeniable rule I have for myself, so. Use your monocular and you can instantly get some easy kills like in that capacity. Tempering blood gemstone. Obviously, that guy must feel some kind of way that I just killed his homie. So, but we're gonna deal with him soon enough. Oh, many dead pigs. Grab the blood vials. And more blood vials. And more, and a pungent blood cocktail. So obviously here we're down below where that passage was leading us across, but unfortunately we couldn't really go across because the drawbridge is up. We need to lower the drawbridge. Deal with the dog and his little asshole ghouly friend. I was ready for you this time, buddy. So once we've taken care of that, just take the moment, search around these little makeshift gravestones. And there, looks like we got another passage leading in there, but I want to continue my sweep. And find a way to lower this drawbridge if I can. I just don't know how yet. Doesn't look like there's a passage leading through. under here, so maybe it will be in the next area. Much like there's like some areas that go back to the side area previously, there may be a passage leading that way. So we'll head into here. Obviously, there's our ghouly friends and our big boy guarding his little coffin. So this would be a good time to actually switch it to the threaded cane because I need something with crowd control. What are you waiting for? Come get me, pussy. You too. Do it, pussy. No balls. Go ahead and open the coffin, and let's see what's inside. Tumult. A bit anticlimactic, but okay. Let's open something more. So once we have what we need there, we're going to double back. Go slow, because I don't know if the pig's death will draw the attention of a blood licker. It's very difficult to say. I know I definitely wouldn't want to fight a blood licker in an underground area, you know, especially with them jumping all over the place like a fucking grasshopper. So I will double back and head through this passage up here, and I think our way will be able to go forward through. Okay, yeah, this area we didn't go through, so this may be our way forward. Alright, now we can rotate this gear switch and lower the drawbridge. And just drop down. Obviously, bear in mind there will be a witch ahead, as you can see. Wait for the other guy to come a-knocking. And we got blood vials, and then head through the passage. And we are in some kind of small chamber. And we got ghoulies camouflaging very nicely into the floor. This one, not so much. A Bold Hunter mark will be on this body, and some more Molotovs will be on that body. So now we can pretty much make our way backtrack to the previous area. Trying to recount my way back. I believe it's up here. That is the way we came in, I think? Yeah, I remember now. This was the way in. The chest was facing in our direction as we approached the area. So once you get through that, we'll head into the next area. Actually, wrong way. Backtrack. That was actually take us back to the second level. And we will be entering the third level. So, flip the light switch on the lantern, and immediately we will have a gate in front of us. Now, this elastic bridge will be our way through, but to get the gate open, we have to navigate down. So slide down the ladder, dispatch the rat. Obviously there's a courtyard to our directly ahead of us, so before we do into that, we're gonna finish our sweep of this area, which looks like we just got a rat and then one item to collect here in the form of a blood vial. Get my monocular out and scout ahead. Okay, we got phantoms, so that means there's a witch up ahead, ringing her goddamn bell. So... Mind the cannon boy on the left. Thank you for the rate, whoever did that. That was awesome of you. But that's basically what'll happen. If you notice, my health went up with the rating. Get rid of the big boy, and then we will deal with the phantoms. Alright, that takes care of the witch. Now, we can actually use the cannon to fire on enemies, so if we have, like, say, a partner who, like, lures them to that particular location down there, we can actually kill a lot of enemies with a cannon, but it all really is luck-based, because you really aren't lucky enough to get a shot that easy, so... we're going to go ahead and equip our bone marrow ash, because in the distance we can actually see... excuse me. In the distance we can actually see another one of those little trans-dimensional nightmares there that are kind of only here on this level in particular. So down below, though, we have several ghoulies. We have, I believe, dogs as well. So we're going to take advantage of getting all of them out of our way. Over here on this body of this poor soul, we will grab the fire paper, and then we will head down below. Keeping my eyes open for any nightmares that may be in the area. But ultimately, I want to have the bone marrow ash, because that will be an instant killer. If you can hit that, thing, technically that thing's flower little design up there is pretty much like its head. So if you can hit it with a solid shot from a pistol shot with the bone marrow ash enhancing your gun, it will instantly kill that enemy. Seems like this thing is kind of bugged right now. Yeah, that was a bug if I ever saw one. Wasted 3 shots with the bone marrow ash, but unfortunately I couldn't get a good shot on him because he was way the fuck up here. Occasionally you'll encounter bugs like that where the game plants enemies in a very bizarre way, and then as you saw when the bug basically was whatever, it just dropped him it dropped him in the air. So bam, done. As you see, there you go. And looks like we got another opportunity. then we get Arcane Haze. Arcane Haze is a kind of ritual material. Oh, there's a lot of them down here. Wow, that's got to be what, 4, 5? That's a lot of. That's actually more Arcane Haze than I'm accustomed to getting. So that's pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and get. Obviously, we have some threats up there, so we're gonna need to get up there and get rid of them. So let's double back in this courtyard and head back up on the stairs, and then cross through the divide underneath this rampart. Oh! Whoops. I got closer than I wanted. I'm just making sure there's nobody behind me. I don't want to get ganked again. Over here on the left, there'll be a body with some Molotov cocktails. You know, matter of fact, I'm going to equip some of those because I'm getting a lot of them and I could use them. So. Oh, we got a hunter. This one's got the Kirk hammer, so. Alright, boy. Come on. What a dickhead. Just immediately just engages me as soon as I open the door. Like, dude, what are you doing? So, anyway, blood vials, easy blood echoes, ritual blood for the chest. God damn it, I gotta stop yawning. I can't do this. Head to here, and this will take us into a new corridor. And it looks like this will take us down. Where is this taking us? Which? So we have that. Oh, and head over through here. And then we will have a new passage. Okay. Okay, we got another spooky bitch. Another poltergeist. I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm gonna call her a poltergeist at this point because that's basically what she is. Enough. Back to the deaths with you. Tempering blood gemstone is what she will drop. Here we have a phantom. Here we have a ghoulie hidden by this incense. And a blood vial. We have to go back to that. We have to finish our exploration of that courtyard area that we were just at, but for for whatever reason, this has taken us to another area. I'm wondering if this is actually part of the next area that we'll be entering. So, which I'm not complaining. I mean, it gives us access to other items potentially, so. But we'll double back now. Obviously, there's nothing more in this area that will appear for us, so. We'll check this area here. Ah, this takes us over the area here. Alright. Enter a hidden passage. Come on, boy. I know you want it. Jack off. And we'll head through here, and it looks like we got another witch. Phantom witch. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this lady. Easy. So it looks like it's just this buddy and his little coffin here. Easy. And we got blood vials from him. Open the coffin, and what's inside for us? Uncanny threaded cane. So now we have a new threaded cane to go with our existing threading cane. So it's yeah. Usually you will get lucky enough where you will get a lot of weapons in some of the Root Chalice Dungeons. The occasions that you don't get them, you usually need to just look up a glyph code, which I will explain that in the future when I can. Oh, I also got the pungent blood cocktail off that corpse there. So once we've gotten what those were, we can head down the ladder and double back the way we came. Obviously, there's no other passages we need to take. There we go. Here, through here. And back up the ladder. And then back through the passage where we fought that fucking dickhead hunter who thought he was going to gank us. You actually could have used the traps to kill him. I actually didn't even think about it until I just saw them just now. So that's kind of on my fault, but I could have actually used them to kill his ass. I just need to lure him into it and then trap him with the switch. So, alright, so now we're up and over the main courtyard. Below, there's obviously a blood liquor, so we have our next target. But before we do that, we're going to continue. We're going to finish our sweep up here on this level. Starting with this ghoulie over here, which we will walk very superditiously behind him and backstab him. Easy 700 echoes. There's going to be a body here with some items on it. Thick cold blood. In the distance, it looks like we have a witch, which we will deal with when we come back through. Before we do that, we'll deal with these ghouls. Some fire paper on that body. There's a ghoul there on the right. There's probably a ghoul over there in the corner as well. Big boy's out of the equation. Now it's just me and the ghoul. I don't see any other one that's in the corner, so that's good. Go ahead and pull the switch. And then get your holy blade ready to take care of this. Well, actually, no. First, we need to get rid of this damn witch. Now, typically, I could go down there and just do the business that way, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a jump. Let's go. Excuse me. And right there, we're going to go ahead and get our blade ready, and we're going to get this boy's attention, this girl's attention. That just doesn't look right. Yeah. Um. Uh. Yeah. I'm not even gonna bother with that. I'm just gonna get her attention and punch her ticket. And now we're gonna move on because I want to put that image far out of my mind now. I cannot unsee that. So the gate is now open, so we will get out of Dodge and go about doing that bit. Bear with me a moment here, I'm just checking something really quick. Okay. I think this is going to take us to another one of the Thumerian descendants, so we'll just have ourselves right as rain with this next engagement. Yep, another Thumerian descendant. No, go on. I'm busy. Is there a reason why you're not stunning, my man? That's better. Dickhead. So with that said, we have conquered another one of the Chalice Dungeons, the Root Chalice Dungeon of the Thumerian. We have gotten a Cold Damp Blood Gem level 4 and 2 Twin Bloodstone Shards. And I think, well, we're not done yet. We have another lair to go down. Will you get out of here? Oh, it's you, devil. This is my devil kitty. My devil is a bit of a prima donna. She's a big furball. You sweetheart. She's got a few sore spots on her body. I think she's got... What's that, honey? Oh, you got a big, ugly knot on your chest. Let me see if I can get that. Hang on. Hold still, okay? Let me see if I can get that ugly little thing. She typically likes to hold still for me so I can cut these ugly little knots out of her fur. So I'm lucky enough where she does hold still for me. There, got a big old ugly one right there. You're a sweetheart. You're a good kitty. Let's see. Is there any more there? Yeah. Got one there. Let me see. No, that's too tight to you. I'll have to wait for that to come out a little bit more. Yeah, she's my beastie. She's a sweetheart. So I'll let her get up on my desk here and lay across it like a little prima donna. So yeah, it looks like we got another layer to the Chalice Dungeon. Apparently this is a level, this is 4 layers deep, so typically you'll have 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, but there's occasional ones where you'll have 4, sometimes even 5 layers. So this looks like this is going to be a 4th layer Chalice Dungeon. So I guess we keep going. What was that I just saw? I thought I saw something. Never mind. I thought I saw something. So we'll continue on our descent. And directly ahead of us, we will have a side area, Layer 4. And then we will ascend this ladder. So we're gonna have a little bit of ways to go. I think after this, I will continue with the measure of my next exploratory measure with the actual world. No more Chalice Dungeons after this, at least for now. Ritual Blood level 3. Now up here we have a looks like a few of the a few ghoulies, as well as a snatcher. Easy pickings. So, grab the bloodstone shard off his body, and then we will go back up. I don't want to go to the ground level quite just yet. I want to actually search the upper catwalk, the upper areas first before I go to the ground level. I always do that in that order: upper level versus the ground level. Where you going, buddy? You're not going nowhere. And then we got 2 nightmares for the price of 1. 2 blood gemstones. And then we will proceed through this next passage here. Looks like my kitty's gonna go get some food. I'm actually going to have to probably consider putting Devil down, regrettably, because she's just very old. I've had her since she was a kitten. I'm not looking forward to it, but she's got a terrible hip issue where her hip pops in and out, and I just can't bring myself to keep sedating her to have them fix her hip. So, I mean, she's practically 14 years old, I think, now, so I can't put her through it anymore. So eventually, when I have the money, I will be sending my little baby across the Rainbow Bridge. Not looking forward to it. I love my beasties. I'm a big beastie enthusiast. I love my animals. Dogs and cats, lizards and birds. Cursed Fire Blood Gemstone. And we got a roly-poly of a fat man. Oh, come on. All right, big boy, come on. Oh, shit. Motherfucker. I got hit by the arrow and then I got flattened by fat ass. That is so fucking disgusting. I cannot believe that just happened. I was hoping to use the trap against him and I indirectly kind of screwed myself in the process. But I kind of... I'll take it on the chin. It is what it is. It was my mistake. I'll counter it. So... So, we're definitely gonna get my saw spear out because I'm definitely wanting some little oomph. I mean, the threaded cane is good, but the problem with the threaded cane in tight quarters like that is you occasionally run into instances where it hits the walls. But in that instance, I didn't really have any issues hitting the walls. What I had an issue with was impact of the weapon. I will say the good thing is, but when you do die, you actually get the privilege of actually rerunning that particular area again and getting some easy access ritual materials, items, supplies, whatever have you. So it is kind of good that you die sometimes in some circumstances, not all the time, but in instances if you're a farmer and you're farming supplies. Got my echoes back. So, fire paper. Alright, asshole, come on. Humpty Dumpty. You just fell. Open the coffin, and inside we have a tempering damp blood gemstone. Wow. You know, I always wondered how you get a lot more of these things, but apparently you can get a few more of them if you know where to look, but I never really fully grasped it. I'm going to have to do some research, because if I can find more blood droplet gemstones, I would love to have that. That is very stupid. I almost got killed again. I do not want to go through that again. So once we have that, we're going to backtrack and open up that door down below. Check these passages. Occasionally I want to check them because sometimes they actually are hidden walls. So, nothing there. Fuck it. We're gonna backtrack and get on with the fourth and final stage, leading to the next Chalice Dungeon boss. Right away, light the lantern, and head on in. There's our way out. There's our way to get out. Obviously, right away off the bat, you're going to have this witch in front of us. We're going to need to get rid of her. Up there, we can see in the distance on the upper level, we have a pig. I'm going to get rid of Big Boy first instead of the ghoulie, because the ghoulie will be inconsequential. The Big Boy will see us when he hears the ghoulie getting attacked, so we'll get rid of him. And now we have the opportunity to get the nightmare. I mean, the ghoulie. And we'll head down below. Multiple little guys here. Now we're starting to see some of that damage from those offerings. Some of that more impactful, damaging damage. That takes care of the dogs. I want to take a quick run around the courtyard's perimeter to make sure there's no supplies, no nightmares, nothing I'm missing. There's usually, at the higher levels of this difficulty, there's usually a snatcher, which we've seen roaming the courtyard's lower sanctum. And occasionally there's actually an a keeper of the old lords. So typically we'll encounter him. If we're not careful. I don't think that's the case here, thankfully. But over here you'll find thick cold blood. And I don't think anything else. Doesn't look like there's any nightmares. Doesn't look like there's any runes. Any potential items of collection warranted. But there is this passage here, which will probably take us to the second level. Better put on my lantern because it's getting dark. I'm actually standing in oil too, so I gotta be careful. Good thing I wasn't covered in oil, man. Dickhead. Oh, there's a nightmare. Get the tempering blood gemstone from him. Grab the quicksilver bullets off the body. Grab the blood vials off of that one. And then, before we go forward, I almost forgot to search back here. There's quicksilver bullets as well. Now we can transcend up the ladder and continue our sweep up here. Now, it depends really on which way you want to go. It doesn't really matter to me, or you, it should, but here we have two pigs, both facing the adjacent direction, so both sides of the entry. So we're going to want to head up here. Obviously, we want to go down there. That's where we will find the lever, but I want to get this other pig over here on the right as well. So we'll take care of pig number one. That's one pig down. Now we'll get the other pig. And that's pig number 2 down, and he drops a radiant blood gem. So, look down there. There's a blood liquor ready and waiting for us. I'm taking the long way around because typically there's usually things hidden on the catwalks on the other side or in the passages in the far other side of the other parts of this upper pathway. So I was just mainly taking the long way to make sure there wasn't anything on the other side for me to grab. Typically there'll be enemies waiting on the other side of the door. Just go ahead and attack them through it. Blood vials, and then here we have our big boy with a gun. And big boy is no more. Go ahead and pull the lever, and the path is opened. And we're going to go ahead and get our Holy Blade ready. And I'm looking for an easy path. Doesn't look there's going to be one. Looks like I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way with direct confrontation. I can't very well that's a long jump. I'm probably not going to make that, but I'm going to try. Yeah, I'm not making it. I didn't think I was gonna. So we'll go ahead and run up here and get this little bimbo's attention. Now I will listen. I'm trying to think. I think it's gonna be further here. So let me listen. Yeah, it doesn't sound like doesn't sound like she's over there. Or maybe, no, no, I was right. It's over here. Hang on. Doesn't sound like it. So we don't have to worry about a blood liquor up here. Now we can proceed forward. Hopefully there's not a side area, because I'll be honest, I'm really tired of being down here. I try to keep my streams relegated to 2 to 3 hours, so that way it doesn't get too boring. And we are already at 2 hours. So to you as well, Yellow. Welcome to the stream. Doesn't look like we got a side... Oh, wait, no, I take that back. There is a side area. I wasn't paying attention. So, one more side area, then the final boss. So, let's get this... Let's clean this place out. Oop, almost got hit. Welcome to the stream, Yellow. How are you this Saturday morning / afternoon, whatever you want to call it? So here we have a couple of rats. We're gonna go ahead and just go to work. Ah, well, you must be over there in a different time zone then, eh? It's noontime here. Where are you from, Yellow? Ah, the Netherlands. I've always wanted to visit the eastern coast of the Netherlands. Greenland, Netherlands, Sweden, Finland, Norway. Great place, great country, beautiful country. Here we got a blood gel and some scorpions here, so be careful. Remember to break contact with the scorpion before it detonates, otherwise you'll be poisoned. Here we got 2 nightmares, tempering blood gemstone on both of them. Itchy hair in my eye. So once we've dispatched those threats, obviously there's not much else we can really do. There's a catwalk leading through the pendulum trap up above. We're going to get this guy down, because he's going to be something we need to get down. Well, unfortunately, my man, I don't eat Doritos. I have a tangible dislike for spicy food. Spice does not agree with my guts. Now, if we're talking mozzarella sticks, well, then I just don't give a damn. Those are mine. That's not going to change. I will fight anyone for a good hearty filling of mozzarella sticks. Once we dispatch that threat, we're gonna grab our way onto this catwalk here, get the thick cold blood, avoid the pendulums, and then find our way to this passage here where Big Boy will be at the top guarding that thing. Grab the thick cold blood as you enter through the right. I don't know, Yellow, what is that? How much does it cost? And we got a cursed blood gemstone from the body, and in the coffin we will find a shaman bone blade. So now we don't have to buy any. We actually have some already available to us. So we'll go ahead and run right past this area. I'm not going to bother coming back to see if there is a buck and an ear. A buccaneer. That's cute. That's cute, Yellow. Well done. You know, that gives me a reminder. I need to get back around to playing Skull and Bones. I haven't played that in a hot minute. Good game that is. Here, it looks like we got a potential number of ghoulies and some supplies. Grab the fire paper and just dispatch them. Over here, there's a chest. Go ahead and open that chest. And inside, we will find more sage wrist, more fetid offerings for the next Chalice Dungeon we explore. And it looks like that is it for this particular area. So now we can backpedal and get some goods. What is my favorite dinner? Oh, that's easy, brother. Homemade pasta. Family homemade pasta. You never really get a good home cooked meal quite like when you're growing up in your home, especially with your family. Rotini, 2 pounds of ground beef, Prego sausage and garlic sauce, mushroom and green pepper sauce, and olive oil with a little bit of mozzarella cheese. Pasta is very good. It's a guilty pleasure. It was down to either pasta or pizza, but I'm a pasta slut, so I absolutely have to have my pasta. Pizza would be a close second. All right. We're ready for the final draw of our battle. Now, obviously, we encounter the Thumerian Elder or the Thumerian Descendant. I have no idea what we're going to be walking into in this next area, so let's find out what the threat is. The Undead Giant. A very unusual. I would think that they would save the Thumerian Descendant for the secondary, but okay. I'm gonna need to change my weapon, though. I'll go with the Hunter's Axe. Missed him. Goodbye, boy. And we get an Adept Blood Gemstone. That was terribly underwhelming. For being a 4-layer Chalice Dungeon, I figured they would give me a level 5 gemstone, or level 4 at least, and they just give me an Adept Blood Gemstone level 3? And no other thing? Man, that's a little discouraging. I figured they would give us more than that, but, I mean, that's what we got, so. But that was a pretty solid Root Chalice Dungeon run, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this one off the rock. Head back to the Hunter's Nightmare, get some upgrades. So level 4, yeah, that one's done. We don't need to worry about that one for now. And where is our doll girlfriend? Hey, doll, we need some power.
Welcome. What is it?
Channel
Very
my
well.
echoes.
Let me stand.
So we'll go ahead and improve our vitality. We'll improve our strength. Strength. And that'll be that. Good spendings. Well, actually, we can get more out of that if we do it right.
Farewell, mate.
We got a lot of blood echo things down there, so we'll go ahead and bust them all. That'll give us enough for just another level. Get these 2 insight used.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire? Very well.
Let's go ahead and improve our arcane. No, not our arcane. Well, maybe. Yeah, we'll do arcane. And that'll be that. Let's go over here to this bath and see what we got here. Nothing that we really need. We don't really need to get those because we pretty much got all that we need from them. Let's go ahead and just burn some of these echoes, though. We got plenty of that. So we'll resupply ourselves with Molotovs. And stones. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go with the thing, and I'm gonna get my throwing knives redispersed. There. Fully stocked. Well, we did the Chalice Dungeons. I'm quite impressed with that. I'm glad about it. I think there is a few more things we need to do, though. So, I said before that I ended the stream, I was going to go about getting the next stage of quest lines updated to the next progressive effort. So, what does that entail? Well, we're going to pay a visit to a few places in the actual world of Yharnam. So, the first place we're going to stop is we're going to stop and see old Gilbert in central Yharnam, because we're going to get check on him and see how he's doing. I don't know if there's anything we'll get from it, but I just want to be thorough, make sure I don't miss a beat. So right away, as soon as you get into central Yharnam, you just gotta go over here and talk to Gilbert.
I heard of Bergenworth.
And he'll tell you about Bergenworth.
Afraid I can't say that I have.
Which, if you remember from our previous stream, that was originally what we found out after we killed Vicar Amelia.
I'm afraid I may not be of help for much longer.
So he's pretty much on his last legs with his health. So, but we'll come back here and check on him again much later as well. But before we get any further ahead of ourselves, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the villagers, because they're actually starting to go a little bit more crazy now that the sun has gone down. So we'll take this opportunity just to get a couple little kills, easy echoes, nothing of relevancy. You pretty much can just go about just screwing around here at this point. I mean, all these enemies are potentially weak in every capacity of the word, so... Oh, he grabbed me. And he's gonna decapitate me. But I'm still alive, sucker. My head is stronger than your axe. You won't get a lot of echoes, but you'll get some in the measure that it's like, okay, yeah, we can totally screw around now. Just, you know, screw around, walk about, cause trouble, this, that, and the other. If you so desire, you could actually ring your small beckoning bell, your small resonant bell, and go help other hunters with battles if they're having trouble with the level.
Stop. You stop right there. not an inch closer.
So as you can hear, now that the sun's gone down, people are starting to really kind of lose their marbles a little bit, exponentially worse. It's pretty much like the villagers, you know, that at this stage, you know, the susceptibility to the old blood is pretty much showing itself slowly but surely, and the vulnerability of its effects are starting to really kind of become prevalent. So, as the sun goes down, I mean, it's pretty much like, okay, yeah, this shit's getting thicker. We're obviously in trouble here, but nobody seems to be aware that, you know, even shutting up inside isn't enough. You're still turning into monsters, you freaking clowns. That's ironic. If you remember correctly, we were actually getting one-shotted practically here, but now because our power is so increased, it's like increasingly difficult for them to kill us. But don't get too comfortable with that, because the new game pluses, that will actually change further along the line. So we'll run over here and check on these ladies.
Poor you. Poor you.
Poor me, yeah. You sound like you're losing your fucking marbles, lady. So once we've taken care of those enemies, we're going to come back here to the other stage of the quest line with Gascoigne's kids. Which, it's not time yet. So okay, we don't need to do that yet. All right, so I guess we'll move on to the next area. I think it's going to be like right after when the moon goes red is when we want to go back there and do that. So, but it's okay. We'll take advantage of the opportunity to get some easy resources. Two werewolves down. So we'll run down here to the the bridge, and we'll use this to get back to the city of the Hunter's Dream, and then we'll head back to Cathedral Ward because that's where we actually need to go next. Alright. So as soon as we get here, we'll notice a few things. Number one, this little girl is all sorts of tripping.
How did we ever get into this mess?
Oh, don't be scared now, lady. Pull your shit together. Now, obviously, she will be okay, but she's still kind of acting a bit squirrely. So, we haven't used her blood yet for that particular reason, but we'll eventually we will use it. We can actually get more from her if we want, but we don't really need to quite just yet. So, we will pay a visit to her. But more importantly, is we need to get 2 more survivors here, and to find them, we need to get their attention. So. We'll go ahead and get a couple of easy echoes and hopefully some twin bloodstone shards because we need them. But in this case, we're just getting bloodstone shards. So right away off the bat, what we want to do is we want to get the activity of basically just making our way there. Let's avoid the church guards there. They're not of consequence to us. Here we got the opportunity to kill a couple more church giants, maybe get some easy bloodstone shards, we'll see. There's one bloodstone shard, and we'll do the other one now. No, you don't. My axe is bigger than yours. Another bloodstone shard. And now what we'll do is we'll head through this gate. And we'll make our way down to those previous 2 villagers, the prostitute and the castellan old man. So the quicksilver bullets will be what we get from him. And the pebble from the crow. So once you get down here, we're going to turn to our left, and around the corner here will be this lantern and this door. Knock on the door.
Oh, thank goodness. You're a hunter, right? Might you know of a safe place? The night is long, and a very little of the incense left. Please, there must be some nice place to run off to.
So right here, you can choose to send I believe her name is Ariana. You can choose to send Ariana to 1 or 2 places. You can send her to Odin Chapel, Yuzefka's Land. We're going to send her to Odin Chapel for this particular playthrough, as it's important to the next section of sending all the survivors there. So, send her
Oh,
there.
thank you, darling. Maybe I'll see you there.
So once we go ahead and send her there, we're going to head over here to this window and talk to this guy.
What's this two-bit nonsense you're peddling? I heard you told that wench about some shelter. Well, she's a damn fool to trust an outsider. Why? Well, her sort's probably just fixing to feed some of your coin.
So after you talk to him that one time, talk to him again.
All right. What crafty lies does the outsider have today? You think I'm an easy mark? Yeah? Well, give me your best shot.
Now this is the tricky thing about this guy. Whatever you tell him, he will do the opposite. And whatever he tells you, he means the opposite. So instead of sending him to try to send him to Yosefka's clinic, and he'll go to Odin Chapel. But if you send him to Odin Chapel, he'll go to Yosefka's clinic. So let's go ahead and send him to Yosefka's clinic, but he'll go to Odin Chapel. So.
Yeah, sorry. Too sharp for that bollocks. I know a superstition when I hear one. Outsiders. Even their lies are predictable.
So, now that they've pretty much been sent there, that will pretty much take care of them in that measure. And that will pretty much enable you to pretty much go about that process with that indulgence. Now, let's wait a minute here. I hear the enemy coming. I don't want to get killed. Alright, so take care of the man-beast and the rifleman. Now, because it is nightfall, you will have a few places you can go. Number one is going to be the Nightmare, I think is what it's called. It's another optional area you can visit, but it has another optional boss fight. But it also has a few things we can get there. So, knock on the door, and Patches the Spider, a character you'll encounter later, will actually speak to you in place of the person there. I think.
My baby!
I guess not.
My precious little baby! Stay away! Stay away from us!
Oh, man. I don't want your baby, lady. I hate kids.
Help me! Please help!
So, obviously you could pretty much hear these people are slowly but surely like falling into the depths of depravity. They think their healing church blood was going to do them such a favor, and slowly but surely they're finding, oh no, this isn't good at all. So before I even get into that little shenanigans, I'm going to go ahead and dispatch these guys. And then we're going to go about... Let's go ahead and deal with this brain sucker. Okay, easy fix. So now we'll climb the ladder. And we will drop down over the ledge. I'm not really interested in fighting the church servants at this point because there's really nothing to be gained in it. diamond bone blades are typically going to be dropped by brain suckers if you're lucky. So, you know, take advantage of it if you have a few of them that you haven't encountered yet. But now what we're going to do is we're going to backtrack our way, and there we will find Alfred.
Oh, good to see you safe. Now, let's think up something to discuss. Just tell me what piques.
So once we discussed it talked about Bergenworth, and we talked about the Healing Church, and we talked about the corrupted Vile Blood, so let's ask him about the Bergenworth again.
Bergenworth is an old place of learning, and the Tomb of the Gods, carved out below Yharnam, should be familiar to every hunter.
The Chalice Dungeons.
Well, once a group of young Bergenworth scholars discovered a holy medium deep within the tomb. This led to the founding of the Healing Church and the establishment of blood healing. In this sense, everything sacred in Yharnam can be traced back to Bergenworth. But today, the college lies deep within a tangled wood, abandoned and decrepit. And furthermore, the Healing Church has declared Bergenworth forbidden ground. It's unclear how many of its scholars remain alive, but only they know the password that allows passage through the gate.
I know the password. So now ask him about the corrupted Vile Bloods.
Ah, there's something I want to tell you. A bit of wisdom from the eminent master Logarius. Once, a scholar betrayed his fellows at Bergenworth and brought forbidden blood back with him to Canehurst Castle. It was there that the first of the inhuman Vile Bloods was born. The Vile Bloods are fiendish creatures who threaten the purity of the Church's blood healing. The ruler of the Vile Bloods is still alive today. And so, to honor my master's wishes, I search for the path to Canehurst Castle.
Now this is part of Alfred's quest line. We will find the way to Canehurst Castle, and we will be able to go about the process of getting there, but it's part of his quest line, so we need to bring him into the fold once we find it and get our way there. So, but with that being said, we're going to go about the process of pursuing that differently. I have a call here, so... bear with me a moment. So right away, we're basically got to have our way through this, doing this business, so we'll head on through this passage down here. And we will come back to this door here.
The password.
Which is Fear the Old Blood. And this is the really trippy thing. This poor bastard's dead. So who the hell are we talking to? But he'll give us some admin's knowledge, so we'll take that off him as well. So once we get down into this part, we don't really have to take the stairs all the way down, just drop down, easy peasy, simple as that. And then basically we're going to go about the measure of a couple of things. Number one, we're going to have a few new types of enemies here that we're going to be exploring, because now we have entered the Forbidden Woods. Now over here on the right, behind this tree, you'll find some thick cold blood. And then further in there, you'll see that there is a few things that is pretty much evident. We can obviously see that there's a path leading down, as well as a few other places. So follow the trail leading down to this vicinity. Right away off the spot, you're going to find a few things of importance. Number one, you're going to find a rifleman over there. You're also going to have a huntsman here. And then you're also going to have a executioner further up the path there. First thing we're going to deal with is the huntsman. Get him out of the way. which we got an easy 1400 echoes from him. Up here, we'll find some twin bloodstone shards. Another twin bloodstone shard from the this villager will just throw oil urns at you, and that's really all he'll do, but those oil urns will make you very vulnerable to fire, so you want to be careful about that. Then you're going to head past where he was stationed on that hilltop, and you're going to head up this path here. There's going to be a few things here we're going to deal with. Number one is going to be the executioner. He's a bit more tougher than the other ones we've encountered, but he also gives a good payout of 7,000 echoes. And then in the cave where he was coming out of, you'll find Madman's Knowledge and an Adept Blood Gemstone. So, and then basically that is pretty much all you're going to find here. So immediately double back, head back down through the slope, and then progress through this crevice here on this side of this gorge. And then right here, well, before we hit that lantern, we're going to go ahead and get a couple things here. Number one, we're going to get rid of these crow threats. Over here, there's going to be another... Nope, there's not. But there is antidote, which is relevant to this area because we will start encountering a new type of enemy that is also poisonous. So we're going to go ahead and light the lantern. And over here, immediately you'll notice there's a door, but it's sealed from the other side. There's actually another quest line that we have to conduct in there. But for now, that is pretty much where we're going to pull the plug on that. We're going to head back to the Hunter's Dream. And right away, we're going to head up into the path, the workshop, and I'm hoping we'll get to find Gurman. But so far, we haven't found him yet. He still hasn't appeared. Where the hell are you, old man? I know you're around here snoozing. You usually are. Which is very weird. I don't know why, but he's not appearing. But what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade some of our weapons. So let's go ahead and fortify... let's go ahead and fortify the Hunter Axe. And we'll repair our weapons as well, because we used them all pretty much extensively through the Chalice Dungeon. And... see whether their oomph of power we can get out of these. Physical attack up by 9, by 13.5. Okay. Threaded cane. You want to constantly check and keep checking your blood gemstones because you may actually have more power than you think in all respects considering. So I make a habit of doing this religiously, especially when I'm like playing, because it is like such a boon to actually have that extra effort or power on your side if you have that measure of sorts. Cursed Fire Blood Gemstone. And the saw spear I definitely want to do. Tempering blood gemstone right there. It gives me 108. I'll take it. And the Tantris. I don't know why I got a fire on the Tantris. I didn't know I put one there, but I'm going to change it because that's not what I want. Weapon durability. Skill scaling. Skill attack. So you basically are just gonna like tinker with this a lot. You know, get your measure of sorts of what you want in terms of your build and your fighting style, and basically just go from there. Let's fortify a different weapon, though. I'm actually curious to have another different weapon fortified. Let's go ahead and fortify the stake driver. I haven't really used the stake driver yet, but it's kind of handsy to have an alternative in the event that you want to experiment a little bit. So, and then basically, that is where we're going to call the ball. Chalice Dungeons were the main focus of this entire endeavor, so I'm very happy we got through the initial Chalice Dungeon we set up. We unlocked 2, maybe 3 other Chalice Dungeons in the process. We also set up the Root Chalice Dungeon, and on top of that, we're setting ourselves into the scope of moving further along in the game's story for this particular one playthrough. Now, the Forbidden Woods, we're going to have a few new quest lines going into that, and then it's also going to pave the way to not 1, but 2 optional encounters, which we will have to go about exploring later on. Again, I stress this, it is optional. You do not need to do them. One is going to take us to the Dream Nightmare or something like that, which we will have an optional boss fight with another enemy. And another one is going to take us into a lot of backtracking areas that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to explore wholeheartedly. There's weapons to find, there will be outfits to get, and then we'll pave the way to move forward with the quest lines of both in Central Yharnam, Odin Chapel, and then some. So, kind of a bit disappointed that we didn't get really as much reward as we did for the Chalice Dungeons, but all things considered, it was a marginal success at best. I kind of was hoping for more, but that's what we got. But I stress that, again, the Root Chalice Dungeons, no 2 Root Chalice Dungeons are the same. You will always get a different result of a Chalice Dungeon with the Root on the end of it, because it is just basically a Mod Podge version of multiple different pieces of that particular Chalice Dungeon mixed into one. So, I could get one Chalice Dungeon, you could get a very different one. You may get items I don't get, and I might get items you probably won't get. So, it's just a matter of, experimenting. It keeps it interesting. The adding of the rights of fetid, rotted, and cursed raises the stakes of the difficulty, but ultimately it makes it much more difficult overall, particularly if you're new and looking for a challenge. But I plan to explore more of the actual world game of Yharnam, the Forbidden Woods, whatever have you, in the next playthrough. And then maybe at the tail end of it, I'll do a Chalice Dungeon, because there's a lot of Chalice Dungeons that I have, and I'll probably do a few more in the long term versus in the short term. And let's not forget, we also have to go through the measure of playing the DLC content of the Old Hunters DLC, which there we will find increasingly difficult enemies, newer weapons, far gnarlier than I could explain to you. You'd have to see them firsthand, and bosses that are going to test even me because they are incredibly difficult. Ludwig the Accursed, the Vicar, the first Lawrence, the first Vicar, Lady Maria, and of course the Orphan of Kos. Everyone who's played Bloodborne knows these guys are absolute nightmares to fight. Some of the hardest enemies in Bloodborne, maybe in all of the Soulsborne games to fight. And yeah, I'm no doubt going to get my ass beat. And it's going to be kind of amusing, but it's going to be kind of fun because I'm actually out of practice, and I'd like to see just how much of my talent has eroded, because that will show when I go to face them. So the next time I stream, it may be tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm actually going to an event today, like I said earlier in the stream. I'm going to a Christmas event, Krampus, down at a brewery here in my hometown. And hopefully it'll be exciting. My mother called me and was trying to get my attention, so I'm going to go downstairs and see what's going on with her. And yeah, the next time I stream, it'll probably be tomorrow. It may be tonight. I don't know. It depends on how tired I am. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Big shout out to Sarah Smiles, Yellow, Frosty, and Lily. If you girls and guys or whatever, anyone else who wants to chip in and kick in and see what's going on, feel free to like and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. And I hope to continue this playthrough. I'm having a great time, and I'm hoping you are too. So until next time, I will be back in the future as we continue our live stream coverage of our first playthrough of Bloodborne. I'm Savage Squishy 86. Thank you for tuning in. See you later.